Hello, welcome back to TFR eSports Season 25. Here we are once again for the F3 division here at the Hungarian for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's round 9 of 15 and it's the final F3 race of 2025 before we go into a short winter break. But it is myself, CJH, on commentary today, joined by the multiple race winner in the F1 division, Enzio Camp. Welcome, Camp, to the commentary box once again. We're back for some more F3 action. And I have to ask the all-important question, which we have actually already spoke about off air. Are you ready for Christmas?
I love the way you introduce me every time as multiple race winner. The only thing I've still got going these days.
Well, I could have said, multiple runner-up in the championship, but I'm not sure you would have appreciated that.
No, I'm not a fan. Nah, I'm good.
We're all perfect. We're all good. Well, someone else who's all good at the minute is Ladanes. We've got about 2 minutes to go of this qualifying, and he's got about a half a second lead over Raheem. It was a bigger gap earlier on in the session. It was about 7 to 8 tenths he had over the rest of the pack. He is in supreme form at the minute, and he won last time out at Silverstone in dominant fashion. The question is tonight, will he extend his advantage at the top of the Drivers' Championship? And I tell you, Cam, if there's any place that you want to get pole, apart from the likes of Monaco and maybe Singapore, this is another one of them. Hungary is a good track to get that pole position, get a clean lap 1, and you're already halfway to victory.
Yeah. I mean, logically, you look at the nature of the hairpin into turn 1 and kind of the swoop-in left-hander of turn 3. You know, you'd say, oh, you can make an overtake there. But the problem is, if you get a good exit out of the final corner and you get a relatively good exit out of turn 1, this allows you to just stick the ERS in none and deploy all of your overtake on the 2 straights. It's impossible to overtake.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a massive pace advantage or brand new tyres or a significant battery kind of deficit, you're not going to overtake. So Ladane's being not only 5 tenths clear of everyone at the minute, but also being on pole, sets him up very, very nicely for the race. And to be honest, at this rate, it's looking very difficult for anyone behind to actually mount a challenge.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, Ladanes here was on his final flying lap and was about dead level in the first sector, but he's got an awful bit of traffic there behind the Alpine debutant of, well, I'm not quite sure how we say his name, actually. I think it's Reisulex. I don't know how we'll go with that. I'll try and figure that out as we get on.
Reese.
With Reese. We'll go with Reese. Reese there having a bit of a moment, and it's not seemed to hamper Ladanes too much because in that middle sector he was still only a tenth down. So can he pull something out of the bag? No, he doesn't. He pulls into the pits in that beautiful looking Gulf livery on the Williams, and that is him done. So too will be Raheem. The checker flag is out, so the top 2 will not improve. All eyes then on Alfie and Ollie Bean, who are on their final flying laps. Nepatal as well, coming through the first sector, hits that line there, already 2.5 tenths up, but he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to be competitive here. Ollie Bean as well, already
Alfie's
a tenth
half
up.
a second up.
Purple middle sector as well. Good spot, Cam. This could be quite a lap here from Alfie. He needs it. He needs it in terms of his championship. He needs to get ahead of Ladanes. He might have to settle for the front row potentially, but that will allow him to have a go at the Williams at the first corner. There he goes then, onto the front row. Half a second improvement. That's a solid lap, isn't it, Cam?
Yeah, Nepatal is also half a second up. So this is going to be quite a close into the qualifying session. I think Ladanes has got a pole, but P2's definitely on the cards.
Absolutely. Here he comes then, Nepatal. Nice wide line out the final corner, up to the line, and he pops himself 4th. That's not bad. Ollie Bean dives into the pits, and that's us done for qualifying. So it's Ladanes and Alfie, the 2 title protagonists, on the front row then. And it's a long run into that first corner, Cam. If you're kind of thinking, well, I didn't quite have the pace in qualifying, if at least for the likes of Alfie, he has a good opportunity into that first corner because it is such a long run into the braking zone.
Yeah, the place to do it is lap 1, turn 1. But I also wouldn't rule out Raheem and even Nepatal. If you get if you get the right launch and you can kind of filter behind the 2, 3 cars in front of you, and
Yeah.
like any dive bombs on the card into turn one, because it's so wide on the exit as well. You kind of force whoever's in front of you, or maybe if there's Alfie and Ledanes going side by side, you got a Raheem that can almost demand a bit more room due to that extra runoff. So turn one's going to
Absolutely.
be very interesting. I would be disappointed if someone didn't try something.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You have to give it a go because when you see the likes of Ledanes in that qualifying session, he probably had a bit more pace in the bank with how that Alpine got in the way. So it's all about
Well,
the start potentially for this one.
so to be fair,
Mm.
looking at the sector times, he was down in both the first and middle sector. So maybe if you don't put that Alpine in the way, he improves. But I mean, 3/10 in like a 1 minute 15 second qualifying lap is still a lot of time to make up.
Well, this is the thing. It's going to be a blockbuster start to this race. No rain expected for all the races tonight, actually. They're all bone dry races at the Hungaroring. And like I say, it's the final race before the break. It's the last opportunity of this year for some of these drivers to pick up a good result. Will the Danes win once again tonight, or can somebody else get into the mix? It's vital for the likes of Alfie to beat the Danes tonight, because there'll be 6 rounds after this, and it will go all the way to the wire for this championship. We've got 5 red lights ahead of the drivers, and we are underway. Ledanes then gets a fairly good start, but Alfie is still right there. The McLaren as well. Raheem has got a great start, jumping ahead of Alfie way before the braking zone there. And there's a Ferrari chucking it down the inside on the pair of them. That almost ended in tears. It's pushed Raheem off the circuit a little bit, and Alfie has picked up that P2 position once again. We've got a car off in the background now, and there's a McLaren and an Alpine in the wall, and another car actually.
Ooh.
Let's hit him as well. That's the RB of Northie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened behind. I only caught the end of that when they were taking bollards out and ripping their wings off. But as for the top 5, very, very good launch from Ledanes, and he's already cleared off second up the road. So that might be all she wrote for the race win already, but we'll see how the race plays out. But I mean, Alfie, Raheem got an amazing start. I can't really figure out whether it was Raheem getting a brilliant start or Alfie bogged down or just got a slow reaction time, but Alfie got a good enough start where he could keep his car alongside the rear wheel of Raheem and almost stop what I said about, just let go of the brakes and send it into turn one against Ledanes. He helped himself in that sense, but it also stopped any opportunity of anyone kind of going for the inside of Ledanes. And they're back in DRS now, but they've already lost, I'd argue, the biggest opportunity to overtake this race.
Neptune Surfer Mega Hype having a bit of a scrap there for P5 coming to blows. Neptune had a mistake on that opening lap and he dropped down a few places. Northie's in the pit, so too has Ollie Bean. Both of those cars suffering big damage on that opening lap. But you're right, Cam. Alfie and Raheem, they're keeping with Ledanes at the minute. And the question is, how would you play this here? Do you kind of rush this and just try and get ahead of Ledanes, or do you just see how your pace fares in this one? I mean, the risk that you can have with trying to play that strategy is Ledanes just pulls off into the distance and then you'll never get that opportunity.
If I was Alfie and I got a sniff of an overtake, I'm going for it. You can't bank on, just having the pace to stick with Ledanes, because, if Ledanes has naturally better pace, right now, for all you know, he could be non-ERS through the middle sector, could be lifting and coasting into the corner, saving tyres. You never know what management phase Ledanes is in. So if Alfie now comes around the hairpin, out the last corner and bombs it down the main straight with even a sniff of an overtake up the inside or outside, you've got to go for it now.
Wait, right
Later on, if you're... Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all right.
He's got a good exit now, though. So if he's ever going to go for it, it's now.
This is it. This could be critical for Alfie's race. He's got the DRS. He's having a right old go at the Williams. And there he goes down the inside. Can he get late on the brakes on Ledanes? He pushes the Williams a little bit wide. He's got the DRS once again. And he is going to get ahead of the Williams. Ledanes is fighting this hard, though. But he's still got the inside line. And he's got much later on the brakes. He tries to switch back, though. Tries to get that outside line for the next corner. How brave is he going to be here? Ledanes shuts the door and keeps hold of the lead. And I have to say, fair play to Ledanes there, because he did absolutely everything, Cam, to keep that lead there.
fair play for the switchback.
Yeah.
Going around the outside of the first corner. I was almost about to say, I'm amazed Ledanes didn't fight that hard. Because it almost looked like he was like, you know what, go through, I'll sit behind you. Job's a good one. But it almost looked like Alfie got a really messy exit, left, right, countering oversteer. And he just set him on the back foot throughout the next complex of corners. He almost got a fantastic switchback out of the hairpin, but unfortunately, the inside for the right-hander after that is just way too crucial to overtake around the outside.
Well, Alfie's got great pace here because he might just have another go here. He's going to have DRS once more down this start-finish straight in the slipstream once again. It was the inside line on the previous lap, and he's going to go for the inside line again here, and there he goes. Down the inside on Ledanes. There's a little bit of recharge from the Williams as well into that first corner, and this time it looks like Alfie has absolutely got this done because Ledanes can't fight that one back, and Alfie takes the lead then here in these opening laps, and, well, I have to say, Ledanes couldn't do nothing about that one.
Well, the interesting is he goes very wide.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this, thanks to the F1 game, you can see the telemetry and battery of both drivers whenever you feel like. I half expected the way he was defending into turn one and almost the way he was being caught after his qualifying pace. I expected Ledanes to have 90 to 100% battery as he's understeering all over the place.
Yeah.
But Alfie has double the ERS. Double the pace as well, by the looks of it. But
is that a little move?
As he goes for an overtake, that's very late.
Dear me. I mean, that could have been a massive crash there between the pair of them. I mean, Ledanes trying that. I mean, that was crazy.
To be honest, the way that Alfie broke into the corner and his deceleration kind of invited him into it. But Raheem is now all over the back. And Ledanes is deploying all of his battery. He's going to try and go for an overtake now, but Alfie's going to force him around the outside.
And that's where he goes. He has a little look to the outside. Can't quite get it done this time around. He's going to get a much better exit, though, and have another dose of DRS. Got the Super Ferrari, who's actually scrapping into the first corner. That's Nepatal now ahead of Corrival. Ledanes couldn't quite come back that time around. But you're right, Cam. Raheem is right there. He's right there ready to pick up the pieces here.
See, now that from Alfie is great defending into turn one and utilising this track's characteristics as he runs slightly wide. I'm not sure. Corner cutting on regular or is it on strict?
It's strict. Yeah, strict.
Then people are going to be on the edge of penalties already by the look of it. But defending the inside and then keeping it pinned to the apex to prevent any switchback manoeuvre is exactly how you need to defend. And it's exactly what I thought Ledanes would do. But he didn't. And now he's put himself on the back foot where Raheem's very close to him with 100% battery. And Alfie up front has actually saved up to 80%.
Yeah.
Ledanes is in trouble.
I think what Alfie's doing here is in this middle part of the lap, which is the right way to do it, because circuits like this is basically only one overtaking spot, or maybe two at a push. You basically charge the battery up at the parts of the track where you can't get overtaken, and then just deploy it all down the straight. And that is what he's doing right now. It is backing up.
Raheem now.
Ledanes in the air. There is Raheem. He is right there, ready to go at Ledanes here, but Ledanes is gaining on Alfie. He's sending it down the inside. That is an absolute dive bomb and a half. He can't even keep it on the circuit, and Raheem is going to get him. Look at that. Raheem picks him off for P2. I mean, that was ambitious from Ledanes, to say the least. He's got on the curb there as well. Oh,
almost
dear.
to the barrier.
He gets away with it, and we'll have to go again. But that was Daniel Ricciardo and a bit more level of sending into the first corner there, Cam.
And breathe. that was one hell of a dive bomb. I didn't see it coming because I think he was about 2-3 temps back. Way too late on the brakes. But, I mean, for Raheem, golden opportunity now to keep with Alfie, maybe deploy a bit of his ERS, and honestly, maybe go for the lead as Alfie goes very wide. I don't know if that was an oversteer moment where he had to save it and just put him on the outside curb, but Ledanes has gone for it again, and he's hit him.
It's that corner again.
He's hit the rear right wheel of Raheem. I'm not sure what's going on, whether his diff is too low or they're catching him out on the braking, but he is all over the place on the brakes.
And he's out of DRS.
Raheem a bit wide. I don't see any movement here. Ledanes, no DRS, and he's got a job on his hands now to stick with them with a lot less battery than either of them.
You're right, though. He seems to have a much different diff set in there because look at that. He gained about 2 tenths into that first corner alone just through sheer later braking. And I wonder if that is maybe what's at play here is Ledanes has just got more of a setup for that type of thing, but he just seems to be unable to kind of control it in some sense at the minute. It's a very aggressive setup in some ways.
Very wide again.
And
with
there
a
he
penalty.
goes. That's the first of potentially many to come for Ledanes. And I tell you, Alfie, I know for a fact, is not far off as well, because I've seen him go all 4 tyres over the white line. This is a cracking racing story. I wasn't necessarily expecting the greatest with low numbers and Hungary and the way it could be, but we've got a three-way tussle here for the win, and this could go all the way throughout this race at the minute.
Now, the thing is, he's not going to like me saying this at all. Ledane's setup looks very much like he's just geared it up for qualifying, tried to get pole, and like we said, just tried to take advantage of the circuit and try and defend. But at the moment, the pure straight line speed and the traction from Raheem and Alfie, it's unstoppable at the minute, and Raheem's going to get a better exit. He's much closer than the lap before.
Here he comes with a DRS. And he is gaining and gaining on Alfie, and he is going to have a little look, switches it to the outside, had a little think about the inside, he's going to have to get the better exit though, and he absolutely hangs that around the outside, almost a little bit too much there, and the opportunity goes for this lap, but I like the thinking, to be fair, he maybe just need to do it the other way around, where he looked to the outside, then dives down the inside, but that kind of unpredictability, that is what you might have to do here, Cam, if he wants to get ahead of Alfie.
Well, I think he was just asking a bit too much of his front tyres, to be honest. The grip kind of fell away from him, and then, as you see, he had to catch quite a big slide. But the thing is, with Alfie defending the inside and then also keeping it pinned to the apex on the exit, the only way around it is to go around the outside. Maybe on fresher tyres he would have pulled that off, but he's going to struggle to pull that off if he's not. I think he needs to be within 3 to 4 attempts out of the last corner to have a concrete chance of getting around the outside of Alpha.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's just see then, this time around, when they get onto the straight, Ledanes with a bit more pace through those corners there, gains a bit more time, and he's diving in the pits. So Ledanes then pulls the trigger, and I think that's about the right time, Cam, because at the end of the day, we're not far up. Well, we are at the halfway point of this race. It'll be straight onto those hard tyres. The Raheem then gains a lot down that start finish straight once more, but isn't quite close enough this time around. Gets a half-decent exit once again, but again, Alfie is absolutely on it in these first parts of the lap. At the minute, he's making it very difficult for anyone to get past him.
He's defending very well at the minute. I just fear maybe now with Ledane's pitting for those fresh softs, hard, sorry. Is his defence now going to cost him? Is he going to try and save too much ERS, save too much time, and is Ledane's going to get the undercut where, I mean, we saw he got past him easily in the first stint. Maybe Ledane's can control the hard a little bit better, and maybe it puts Alfie on the back foot, kind of maybe slowing the pace down with Ledane's now fresh softs, full push.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Well, Ledane's here. We'll keep an eye on that gap because he definitely could be one to watch. That you'd imagine the undercut's probably quite powerful around a circuit like this. I mean, what do you think on that one? Is the undercut powerful? They're both staying out again because it definitely will be a powerful undercut now, Cam, because he's going to have 2 laps at this.
I think this is going to, if they go hard, I don't know what they're doing. Because I genuinely think that now they have to go softs because you're losing track position and you're losing a lot of time. Like every lap you stay out on fresh tyres around this track, you're probably losing close to 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if both of these guys pit at the end of lap 11, lap 12 and go softs to the end.
I think you might be right. I think that you might be right. They have to do something different in some ways because they might be. Well, I think they will. They've already lost track position because the gap from Raheem to Ledanes is only 17 seconds, making that under 17 seconds now. So they are losing heaps of time. Meanwhile, Nepatel picking up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. So that'll be very costly to his
Alfie
race.
has had a horrible lap. Sorry for interrupting, but Alfie has lost a second to Ledanes.
And I tell you, I think he's going to lose more by the end of this lap because Oh, and there goes Raheem down the inside into this corner. Where's that come from? They've made contact. They've made contact, the pair of them there. And Raheem just saw the opportunity and absolutely sent it down the inside. But Alfie's not giving this up, though. He has a little look to the inside once more. And they both continue on. But Raheem now leads this race. Alfie really, really struggling there. And a little bit of lag, I think, as well. He's caught back up, actually, to Raheem now with the DRS. And actually sends it down the inside. Sends it on the inside on Raheem. And with better traction there. And now the DRS, he will take the lead off Raheem. No, he won't actually. Raheem is hanging this on. He's got a better line for this next corner. Alfie's going to try and keep this one going. They are still wheel to wheel. And Alfie now with the inside line should take back the lead. But the pair of them are going hammer and tongs here. And it is absolutely given a gift to Ledanes, because Ledanes has took something like 4 seconds out of them in the last lap.
They've bottled it.
It's crazy.
They're throwing this away. They're completely throwing this away. Ledanes is going to be about 10 seconds ahead of them.
Yeah.
I don't know why Alfie didn't pit. He's got his tyres are gone. Both of their tyres are done, but Alfie's tyres are completely gone. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of them's picked up damage. There's nothing notable now, like an end plate missing or anything, but I would not be surprised if some of them have lost downforce from that, because that was a lot of wheel banging.
Well, this is the thing. They're coming in now. Alfie is.
Alfie's in, but Raheem isn't.
He isn't, yeah. And now, Alfie has an absolute mare there coming in the pits, gets right on the curb and gets a bit sideways. But look at how much time they've lost. It's 10 seconds the gap there from Ledanes to Alfie as he comes into the pits. Surely it's soft tyres. It is. It is soft. But look how much work he's got to do, Cam. I mean, he's going to have to really get a move on it. He might just drop behind the Ferraris here, you know. And he is. He's going to drop behind both Ferraris. Now that I was not expecting. There is Curribold actually going right around the outside. Curribold. Yeah, he's got away with that one. I thought he was going to drop both positions to them there. But, I mean, I'm not convinced, Cam. He's got 8 seconds and a bit more to take out Ledanes here with only about 6 laps to go.
Well, it's 5 if you include the penalty, but I mean, we know that Alfie's on the edge of a penalty himself.
Yeah.
And you combine that with having to push to the point where the tyres are done at the end of the... Like, he needs to use every bit of grip this tyre will give him. He's getting himself a mountain of a challenge.
Oh!
And Raheem, honestly, Raheem should have followed him in.
And he's
I get why he's trying something different, but Raheem's going to lose out big time here.
Absolutely. I mean, Alfie there absolutely clattered the curb. He was very lucky he didn't actually pirouette the car around. But the problem for him now, he is stuck behind Nepatal and an awful part of the circuit. He'll get him down the start-finish straight, but the damage is going to get done already. Scratch that. He's going to get past him right there. Just open the door for him, why don't you, Nepatal? Because there goes Alfie.
Where's Raheem going to be?
Well, here he comes down the pit lane. He's trundling down the pit lane, and he's going to be well behind these lot. Look how much time. He's going to be behind. Yeah, and by a distance as well. And there goes Nepatal on Alfie into the first corner. He couldn't quite get it done, but that was an ambitious move to try that one on Alfie. But look at that, Alfie he's took 4 seconds out of Raheem in about a lap. I mean, Raheem himself is completely blown this, and he's going to have to get some overtaking done. I mean, what on earth is going on with these guys?
Right, for Alfie, he has a chance still. If he's getting 5 seconds in 5 laps, it's a massive ask, but it's there. Raheem is done. Like, Raheem will not win this race unless there's a safety car.
Yeah.
And are they on?
I mean, they need a bit of chaos now at the end of this one, because at the minute, Alfie has got a load of work to do to get that gap down, but Raheem has got overtaking and a bit of clean air he's got to find to catch up even with Alfie. I mean, this race has completely been flipped on its head in the last few laps, and I have to say, Alfie and Raheem have just got the strategies really wrong, in my opinion. I mean, Alfie could still win this race, that is for sure.
Right.
But I think they've got it wrong.
The positive for Alfie, that second lap figure, 1.1 seconds quicker he was that lap than Ledanes. So the pace is there in a minute. He needs to maintain that before the tyres balance out. He needs 4 more seconds to win this race.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
still think
absolutely.
they're a lap too late.
Absolutely.
If he wins this or not, I think the optimum strategy would have been to pit a lap early.
For sure, for sure. Speaking of, Raheem there tried to get the job done on Kerbal, but Kerbal broke incredibly late and got the anchors out and actually has managed to hold off,
That'll be
Raheem
brave.
at the minute. He's going to try the outside there. That is very brave. And Kerbal is really, really holding up Raheem here. And you can absolutely be sure the frustration is going to be kicking in. I think it might be, because he's maybe trying to help out Nepatel. If Nepatel maybe gets that penalty removed, which I would be very surprised because I think it is just a speeding penalty.
No, I think he's trying to help him with the penalty.
Has another little look, and they just avoid contact. But yeah, I think you're right, because there's not too many laps to go. And if Kerbal can...
He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he is. And Raheem tries another move into the final corner. He's going to have a good old run, though, down the start-finish straight. And Kerbal will be absolutely dumping the battery, trying to hang on here. He hugs the pit wall and pushes him to the outside. And Kerbal is going to have to try and get super late on the brakes once more. And I'm not too sure he's done enough. No, he hasn't. And there goes Raheem up into P4.
What I will say is fair play for trying, but that was a fight for P3 between the two, let alone the gap to Nepatel. His best bet would have been... What I don't understand is he was going that slow, but he didn't save any battery.
Yeah.
That's what I was confused at. But the whole middle sector, he should have stuck it in none, but somehow didn't save any battery.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the tyres and Nepatel are just not going to be able to compete with Raheem, so that probably is all she wrote for P3. And Alfie's not gaining enough.
He's not. He's
In
actually...
fact, Alfie's lost time.
He has, and he's got Nepatel all over him now. I mean, Raheem's out of the picture in terms of that because he's 8 seconds behind this pair. But Nepatel is going to get Alfie here because he's got the DRS and he got the pace, and he will go to the outside on the Haas, and that is job done. The soft tyres are just absolutely not the right tyre to go on here, Cam.
Alfie's had a moment somewhere that previous lap. He was 1.2 seconds slower than Ledains.
Wow.
So something we've missed something, but Alfie's had a bit of an excursion, I think.
He almost chucked it up the inside there. I mean, that probably would have ended in tears, but he settles back down.
I said that was all she wrote for P3. It's not. Nepatel has very good pace in consideration to Raheem and Alfie. He only needs a second and a half. And if you consider that the softs are going to drop, this fight for P3 might not be over yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. I just don't think these soft tyres are a good race tyre. I mean, the hard tyres clearly were the right way to go here because they've just got a bit more life in them. And it's probably the temperatures as well of the tyre. You know, on a track like this, on a set of soft tyres, once they get overheating, I mean, they're pretty much useless. And I think that might be what's happening a little bit to Alfie here. The win is gone. I mean, they gave it a good go, that is for sure, because, I mean, I certainly thought after qualifying, Cam, it looked like Ledains had this one sewn up before the race had even started, but they gave it a real go. They've just got it really wrong in the strategy.
You know, you say that it looked over for the two after qualifying. It looked completely over for Ledains after lap 3. So, you know what? Credit to Ledains for recovering that, keeping composed, and actually executing the strategy. But you have to sit and wonder how it went so wrong for the other two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the gap now between Nepatel and Raheem, 9 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not done yet.
I think that's the thing. Nepatel has got decent pace. We're on the penultimate lap, though. And this is Ledains here, coming through this corner for the penultimate time. And once again, he has done the business here. He has done what he's needed to do, and he is going to extend his championship lead at the very top. And, well, we were saying he seemed like he had a bit of a qualifying setup, Cam. We probably still think that's the case, but in the end, the door opened for him to get this win, and he took the opportunity, and it will be his second win on the bounce, and it'll be his fourth race in a row on the podium.
If I had to predict what changed, like what's giving this confidence on this pace, is tyre temp. You can push those cars to extreme limits and get away with it because their core temperature just stays so low that you've got to do pretty aggressive driving to overheat them. And I think that's just what's helped Ledain's push from the start of this stint right to the very end.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the point is, on a track like this with lower numbers, safety cars as well are so much more unlikely. So you can kind of have confidence to go for a strategy like this when the others, they would have maybe fancied the chance if there was a safety car on their soft tires. But that didn't happen. And Ledain's just drove the perfect race in terms of the strategy. And he is going to take a critical victory here in his pursuit of this F3 Championship. Ledain's then wins the F3 Hungarian GP, and by a distance, with Nepal then coming home in second. That 10-second penalty, though, will drop him behind Alfie. Let's keep an eye on the gap. It is going to be tight. It's very, very tight. There's about a tenth in it, and I think Raheem has done it. He stays on the podium just by 19 thousandths of a second.
Wow.
With Karbold completing the top 5. That was super close, and fair play to Nepal for really giving that a go. That was almost the perfect strategy, if you like, for Ferrari there. With Karbold holding off Raheem, he almost did enough.
Needed one more corner.
Yeah.
One more corner and he would have got the podium.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sci-Fi Mega Hype is in 6th. We got Reese in 7th on his debut. For Alpine, we then got Ollie Bean. A bit of recovery drive for him. You can see by the look of that car, he's been in the wars today, and not his finest result, that is for sure. And Northey as well, who was involved in a crash on the first lap, will complete our 9 runners. So that is your lot then for F3 in 2025. And it looks like the Danes then potentially has one hand on the trophy already, but there is still 6 rounds to go, Cam, and there's plenty of things that can change. All it needs is 1 or 2 DNFs, and then it can all be back open again.
Wow. I've been there before. We all know how that went. But no, I mean, terrific drive. It was looking a bit shaky at the first stint, but like I said, midway through the race, the composure and the resilience to go for that different strategy and make it work the way he did. Great drive.
Absolutely. Ledain's then wins from pole. Didn't quite get the full set this week because Alfie got that fastest lap, but it wasn't to be for the Welshman. He settles for second place for Haas. We've then got Raheem on the podium just ahead of Nepal with the Ferrari pair in 4th and 5th. Good points for their Constructors' Championship, with Sci-Fi in 6th, just boosting Haas's points tally in that battle with McLaren for the F3 Constructors title. That is your lot then for F3 in 2025. Thank you, Cam, for joining me in the commentary box once again. And we'll be back in the new year. I can't remember the exact date. I think it's the 5th of January, 2026, for the F3 Belgium Grand Prix. But to be sure to tune in for F2 and F1 later on this evening, because there'll be plenty more action to come if it's anything to go by how that race was. But we'll see then. There we go.